this morning. I'm talking to the aspiring men. I'm talking to the children. I'm talking to the women. I'm talking to every one of us here that integrity is a must. Integrity is demanded of the Lord. Amen. You fill the place of worship with your whining and sniveling because you don't get what you want from. Do you know why? From God. Do you know why? Simple. Because God was as a witness when you spoke your marriage vows to your young bride. And now you've broken those vows. Broken the faith bond with your vowed companion, your covenant. Leave it there. Leave it there. Now, I want every man's attention to be focused there. Because the attitude of some men is at variance with what is written here. Listen, do you know why? It is simple. Because God was there as a witness when you spoke your marriage vows to your young bride. The day you got married, the day the pastor stood here and joined you together, you had vowed that only that woman, you had said that you will stick to her, you will be faithful to her. You made several other promises, but you did not understand what we were saying perhaps, because the life you are beginning to live now does not show that you have any understanding of what you said. Or perhaps you do, but you have no fear for God. But here it is. It's saying that on the day you were wedding, not only was it that you brought the congregation of God's people to come and witness a vow that you are making, but that you also brought God, and you brought God to be represented by his servant, and you made a vow. But shortly after making the vow, you are beginning to follow after other women. Shortly after vowing that you are going to protect the wife, you are beginning to beat her now. Shortly after you made those vows in the presence of the Lord, you can't even remember you did anything like that. But I want to remind every man, and I want to remind everyone aspiring to be a man, if you stood by any altar and you made a vow, that thing is a covenant, that thing is a vow, that thing is not ordinary. That thing was, in the presence of God. It was in the presence of the people of God. It was in the presence of angelic hosts as witnesses. Do you know you won't live here forever? Someday you walk out of this body, the casing will be thrown somewhere, and then, you know how grievous this is? That God came and witnessed it, and the congregation of God came and witnessed it, and just suddenly you have turned away from it. You have left the place of integrity. God said he witnessed it, and he will witness against you. So every man that has left their integrity, it is time for you to return there. Because those things you said, hear me, if you make a covenant in the other side of the world, especially when you make something like a blood covenant, even when you come back later to say you did not understand that now so the thing mean, it is not an excuse. You break it, the nemesis will catch up with you. You can't turn away from it. It's an agreement. It's a covenant. Every man that has so soon turned away from those covenants, it is not a light matter. It is a matter that God is a witness against you. And any woman that has turned away from it, I want for every one of us, if you don't know, go and play the video of your wedding again and listen, because maybe at that time you were making it, you didn't understand what you were saying. You will need to listen to it again, so that day when we wake up there, it will not stand against you. Ignorance of the law is always said to be not an excuse. You said it. You should stand by it. Why are you so soon following other ladies around? Why is it that your wife doesn't matter to you? You see, he said those vows, and not broken the faith bond with your vowed companion, your covenant wife. The wife you married there is your covenant wife. Every man here, I admonish you, you must stay true to it. It is true that you are stronger than the woman and you can beat the woman anytime. It is true that when pastor calls you to talk to you about it, you tell him that, look, you are the one that married, it's not the pastor that married. It is very correct. But it's also true that a day will come when you will stand before the one who made you, and then those things will be relayed before you. You will not be able to say anything. At that time, you will only be waiting for the condemnation. You will only be waiting for the judgment. It is a terrible thing for you to kick against the Lord. He met Saul. He said, Saul, why do you kick against the prick? You can fight against fellow man. You can fight against your neighbor. You can fight against any other person. Don't fight. Take your fights to God. You can't win that battle. You will lose before you start. So I speak to every man here, go back to the place of integrity. Be truthful to your wife. Don't treat her with disdain. Don't harass her because you made a vow. And for every young man that is coming up, vows made on the day of wedding is one of the strongest things that keep you. For me, I told my wife, I watched the video clips of our marriage. I saw when she was dressed from her father's house. I know her father is not a poor man, he's not doing badly. She was comfortable. I saw how she left and she came through their wide compound. And then she made her way into the car that was going to take her to the church. And then she waved them. And by the time she was returning, she didn't return there. She decided to follow me home. And anytime I saw that, I made up my mind that what her father could not do for her, the defense her father cannot give her. If this woman made a vow to leave them and follow me, then I will surely stand for her. That is a man of integrity. You are a corrupt man. If you took her from her father's house, where she had no need, if she had joy, she had peace, you brought her to your house, and now you have turned into a devil. You are a corrupt man. You are corrupt. You are not upright. And God is not happy with you. And that is why many men are not going anywhere. Because the Bible actually says that one shall chase 1,000, not so, but two shall chase 10,000. What kind of arithmetic is that? If one can chase 1,000 by simple knowledge of ratio, two should chase 2,000. But here he's saying that when you get married, you are better than the time you were single 10 times. Now, but listen to me. It is very pathetic. It is very pathetic. It is very pathetic that not very many men are walking in that provision. You know this thing we do in church, they say hold your neighbor's hand and pray a prayer of agreement. There is no neighbor that you are sitting with in church that can have a better agreement with, like your wife is at home. When you maltreat your wife and you are not in agreement with her, you are undoing yourself. Instead of being 10 times than what you used to be as a single, you will be worse than what you used to be as a single. You have lost the place of strength. You have relinquished an advantage given to you. You have let the devil to be in charge of your family. Now two again cannot agree to become one. And your two is no longer chasing up to 1,000. You are now chasing hundreds. And I therefore challenge you, man. There are victories waiting for you. If you can go back, don't be too arrogant. If you can go back and make up with your wife. And woman, if you are the architect of the turmoil going on in your family, I think you should drop the machete now and come to the peace table. Because it will only make two of you better. Because when the two of you agree with the unity of spirit. It is only in that position that you can be better and chase 10,000. When you disagree, you chase less than 1,000. Marriage is honorable. If you want to enjoy the honor of marriage, you must come from the perspective of integrity. Without integrity, your marriage, you cannot enjoy the benefit. 15 minutes, I promise you, bow your head, talk to God about it. Ask him to give you the strength, to keep the terms of those covenants you made with your wife on the day you brought her to the altar. Ask him for forgiveness in the areas where you have erred, because he said he will witness against you. Ask him for mercy. This far that you have come, you will never go back the same path again. In the name of Jesus.
Is great. You are great, yes, you are Holy One. Walked upon the sea, wasted it. You reign in majesty, mighty God. Everything written about you